Hi, it's Jen. A dear friend and client of mine reached out to me a few days ago, feeling a little bit crushed by the weight of the expectations of others. She had a design client who wanted to add additional tasks to the original scope of work, and while she accepted the extra work, she simply stated that she would need a few extra days to be able to complete it. Well, to her surprise, her client pushed back, saying it shouldn't be that hard and that they didn't understand why it couldn't just get done. Well, of course, as the consultant, she had a very intimate knowledge of what the work would actually entail, and to be able to complete it at the quality level they had come to expect from her, additional time was not only understandable, it was also necessary. Besides the fact that she wasn't exclusively working for them, she had additional clients, priorities, and commitments to tend to. All of that aside, she had a boundary for how much work she could actually handle. She and I had been working on creating a work experience that didn't consume all of her time as it had in the past. My client had been used to being a yes woman, and even at the expense of her own peace and happiness. Even though she was proud of standing her ground and enforcing her new boundary, she still had this sinking feeling that she had disappointed her client. So she turned to me, frustrated and torn, in need of some perspective. And I told her that even though sometimes doing what's right doesn't feel necessarily good, it doesn't mean that it was the wrong decision, especially when we're used to people pleasing. We want to be liked and loved, and when we think that someone is upset with us, it feels as though their approval has been taken away. But we don't have control over that. We can't constantly be in this state of trying to make others happy. That's simply not our responsibility. But what is our responsibility is our own happiness, and that is the importance of boundaries. She was making a change, and it felt a little bit uncomfortable at the time, but it's kind of like going to the gym for the first time in a while, and while the muscles aren't quite used to it, it makes it start to feel really sore, but the more we practice, the easier that it gets, and it simply becomes natural. Upholding our boundaries and knowing what we're comfortable with is part of taking responsibility of our peace, a responsibility that lies squarely on our shoulders. It may feel a little uncomfortable at first to say no, but making yourself a priority is worth it. No doesn't have to be combative or aggressive. It could be not yet, or maybe next time when you have the energy or the desire to do whatever is being asked of you. And if that time doesn't come, it could be a simply kind, no thank you, or let me get you the resources to help you on that. Your peace, your joy, and the protection of your energy is worth it. Why? Because when we operate from a state of joy, we are able to attract situations and circumstances that bring us even more of the same. But when we operate from a feeling of irritation, of frustration, or anger, guess what that tends to lead us to? Honoring our own boundaries allows others to do the same in turn, and therefore gives us a clearer understanding in relationships as to how we expect others to treat us. So if people pleasing is your thing, how about pleasing the person who shows up for you day in and day out, who takes care of your loved ones and handles the workload, keeps going, keeps pushing forward? And that's you. Choose you. Make yourself a priority and let joy lead you in life. Cheers.